Peace, peace, Islam. This is Brother Shah Trumayel, and I wanted to speak on Noble Drew Ali and his efforts and what he brought to us. So basically, Noble Drew Ali, who was born Timothy Drew in uh, North Carolina State in the year 1886, basically brought us our nationality and our flag and awakened us to our historical history as Moors on this continent and around the world. His message is basically simple that we're not Negroes, blacks, or colored folks because these words delude to slavery. Anyone who believes and thinks that they are classified as slaves. Um, Another thing, this is not a religion. Even though we wear turbans and fezzes, and the Moor Science Temple itself was incorporated as a religious group in 1926, or organization, I'm sorry, in 1926. It was first founded as a civic organization. This is the birthright. This is yours and mine birthright. It's not something that's just from the East, that's foreign to here in the Americas. This is the first Africa is here in the Americas. To get another thing clear about the movement and what it is and what it is not a sovereign citizen thing. No one can be sovereign unless you have a nationality, and people cannot be sovereign. Nations are sovereign, and if you do not lay claim to a nation, then there is no sovereignty for you. That brings me further into citizenship as Black African American people. There are plenty of documentation to show and prove how we are not blacks and how we are not citizens of the U.S. With the creation, a lot of Moors like to speak about the 14th Amendment actually being law, and it's not. The reason why it's not law, the reason why it can't be law, is because in 1861, the Congress adjourned sine die, which is without day. And when they did that, they ceased to be a legitimate and lawful government. So since that time, they have only been operating on emergency war powers. I have a document here, a book here, which all Moors, all new incoming Moors should get. RV Bay Publications, shout out to them. Candyland Moore, shout out to them. Everyone should have this book. This right here explains everything. All right. You can get this book from RV Bay Publications. That breaks down the fraud in the 14th Amendment and the exact reason why Prophet Noble Drew Ali told us that the 14th and 15th Amendment were no need for the salvation of my people. Being a Moor, what being a Moor is and what being a Moor is not. It's not about filing paperwork. It's not about avoiding taxes. It's about addressing political misrepresentation and fraud. So, unfortunately, when Moors, if Moors, go into these Roman venues, is to address misrepresentation and fraud. And through certain schemes of fraud, which is taxation without representation, that's a major fraud and a major misrepresentation. So you see a lot of us Moors speak about taxes and not paying taxes and all of that is because it's fraud and a misrepresentation. Who are our representatives? Each state is supposed to be a republic, but each state is being or operating, I'm sorry, under the democracy, under the corporate fraud. So it loses its sovereignty. So the powers that were delegated to the states are now to the people. And if you don't have a nationality, then unfortunately you're not part of the people. The states have lost their sovereignty because they are with the corporate sellout. So they no longer have the sovereignty to enforce law, only public policy or public regulation. So they're not even operating as state republics. So it's on the people to make the government, make those who are claiming to be governmental officers and holding those seats do what they took oaths to do. Even further, I'm gonna make it quick. I don't want to go too deep, but we're Moors, and that's a fact. You cannot be black. You cannot be African American because those are continents. I'm keeping it real simple, keeping it real basic. Those are continents. You must be specific. If you're not specific in what you say, then you can be claimed. If you know they use the law of the sea on land. That's what's called as admiralty and maritime law. They're practicing that on the land and not using the Constitution, which is the law of the land. So anytime you step into any of these Roman venues, they're practicing admiralty and maritime law, which a lot of us who may not be new to this information may just know. You know, with the gold fringe on the flag, on the banner, I'm sorry, because it's not a flag, it's a banner. They know that these are admiralty and maritime courts. So I just wanted to lay a few things straight. This is my first video. I'll probably come out with more information, more detail, more resources. We have more. We're supposed to cite our sources, and I will be doing such. But as my first video, I just wanted to come and clear the air about what being a Moor is and what being a Moor is not. We're not sovereign citizens, you know, so please don't get us confused with the whole sovereign citizen thing. And we're not against our people because we say that we're not black. They're not black. You're not black if you're watching this. You know, my shirt is black, but you can clearly see my skin tone from my shirt, which my shirt is black. You know, so just do a little bit of research help a lot of people clear up concepts of mental slavery, you know what I'm saying, that we all hold. And to teach our people how to study, which is the main issue, because they're not teaching us in these public schools. They're not teaching you how to study. They're training you. They're training you on how to be a good slave, a good puppet. So once again, I am Brother Shaw Atumrayel. This is for some of the newly awakened Moors, some of the mis or confused Moors, and those who may be just confused about the movement itself. And it's very simple, it's very basic. It's so common sense that I don't even see the need to even go overboard, you know, with, you know, information because it's out there. It's out there. If you want to know, you just all you got to do is look. You know, all you got to do is look and research it for yourself, and you'll see. You know, you're gonna hear a lot of negatives about Moors before you see the positive. And if you don't know how to read, then you'll fall into the trap. You'll fall into the negativity because no one taught you how to read. So find out your status as a Moor. Find out your nationality. Your nationality is a Moor. You know, find these things out. You need to find these things out quick because the Europeans ain't playing with us. They're not playing with us at all. And they have plans for us, for those of us who believe that we are blacks, Negroes, and colors. And you can believe whatever you want to believe. You know, you can believe that you're black, you can believe that you come from Africa, but I'm pretty sure if you ask your grandmother or your grandfather, they'll have some type of heritage of being indigenous. My grandmother, who was Cherokee, and my grandfather, who was Blackfoot or Siksika, and Cherokee, which the original name for that is Anyanwea, they're indigenous. So I know I'm indigenous. So I know me personally, I never came from Africa. My roots don't come from Africa. I'm an American to the fullest. And there's no way a lot of us could be from Africa. You know, if you do just a little bit of research, you'll see that those who did come up here from Africa have already went back. And those who are still over here because you're from the Americas. It's just a little bit of research will cure a lot of lies in your life. So once again, Noble Drew Ali, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, born 1886, came 1913, told us that we're not Negroes, blacks, and coloreds, and that we are Moors. And it is the truest thing that I've seen or heard and studied thus far. And I've been through a lot of schools of thought, you know, five percenters, you know, my mother was a Christian, you know, I was born up in the Christian religion, you know, I went through Nation of Gods and Nerves, you know, all of these schools of thought, you know, and still, even with those, still wasn't as real, wasn't as truthful as what Noble Drew Ali brought. And finding out that if it wasn't for Noble Drew Ali, none of those schools of thought would have been, except for the whole Christian religion, which is it's not even a religion, it's a political system. So do some studying more. Study, study, study. Noble Drew Ali told us to study, so I'm not gonna do your work for you. You know, I study. I have books galore. You know, I do really study. I got Black Law dictionaries and everything. So just study more, and you'll see it. With a little bit of studying, you'll see it. Nobody has to really sell you. I'm not here to convince you, persuade you. I'm just here to inform you that we are not Negroes, blacks, or coloreds. You know, I don't know how redundant I can be with it, and just telling you who you are. You're more. So you can't say nobody tell you, and you can't say I never told you because I'm taking the time to make a video, and I don't even really do this, make videos, you know, but I guess it's my time to start making videos and just letting us know, uplifting who I can, who willing to listen, who's willing to do a little bit of investigation for themselves. Because, you know, man knows not by being told. So I can't tell you a lot. I gotta leave it up for you to learn, for you to know, and for you to find out about your nationality and your birthright, you know. And if anything, prove to me that we're not Moors. If I'm wrong, if you know you think that what I'm saying in this video is bullshit, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Show me how we not more. Show me how we're black. Show me how we're citizens. Show me how. You know, show me. Don't just tell me. Show me. You can hit me up on Facebook. You can hit me up on YouTube. You know, show me how. If I'm wrong, if I'm misled, show me how I'm wrong. But I don't think you'll be able to find it because I myself tried to disprove that this was wrong and failed. So I'm pretty sure that nobody will have the answer sway. You won't have the answer sway. So, peace and love. Islam to new Moors. Islam. And shout out to RV Bay Publications. Thank y'all very much up there. Shout out to Canaland Moors. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all up there. You putting it down, representing like crazy, yo. You know, I aspire to get to that level. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to, Rami. Rami doing this thing back again. He was gone for a little bit. Shout out to Rami Salam Mill. Shout out to Khalifa Media. Shout out to Moors and Khalifa. Shout out to, all the active Moors, that's doing their thing. Shout out. 720 Moors, shout out. Like y'all doing y'all thing. Like I see y'all, and I'm just trying to do my best and take my part in my place in the affairs of men. So peace and love, Islam, Islamism, and I'm out. Peace.